Yo, what's up YouTube? It's your boy Damontae bringing you a banger. Don't forget to go follow on my Twitch, please. Here you will never miss out on daily payday content. The Hitman Akimbo build. The first card in the deck is called Basic Recovery. It'll give you a 5% recovery rate increase. Your next card being Ambidextrous, which will allow you to dual wield weapons that have a minus 16% stability, and your armory recovery rate has been increased by an additional 10%. The ammo capacity for your akimbo weapons are increased by 50%. Advanced recovery, your armory recovery is increased by another additional 10%. Expert recovery, which is another additional 10% added to your recovery rate. And then lastly, we have Tooth and Claw, which is another additional 10% added to your armory recovery rate. But then, if your armor breaks, you will have a 1.5 second armor regen, no matter the situation. That is the key thing about Hitman here. That doesn't matter the armor value, that doesn't matter the suit of armor that you're using. It is anytime your armor is broken, it is 1.5 seconds, and then you have your armor back. Also, you're getting a total of a 45% armory recovery regen percentage from the perk deck, not counting resilience and shock and awe. Now, let's get into the build here. Hitman with Akimbos is huge damage, no cap. Pairing it with the Kxng Akimbos and also having the CR 100 damage SMG secondary weapon for ranged combat, it makes for some great use inside Death Sentence play. Crowd control is very easy with the Akimbos. You just have to do short taps of bursts and clear out all the cops in that essential way. If you just aim for the heads, and you do have body expertise and you will have surefire, so it's not going to be an issue if you don't hit the heads. It's just short bursts and everything goes away. Secondary I use here is a 100 damage SMG. Could be any of the 100 damage ones. I just went for this one because it still hits decent damage at the range, but mostly comes in handy for the distance cops that are shooting at you, and having that 100 accuracy and 100 stability just makes it very comfortable. The SMG can come in handy as well against fighting dozers with the damage shield, like targeting the faceplate and then whipping out the Akimbos. You have first aid kits for damage reduction, which is letting you get 2-shot armor inside of ICTB. Comes in handy for healing as well, and mostly you're just going to be protecting your HP with the armor, so most of the damage that comes to you, you're just using your first aid kits for the buff for your armor for the 2-shot damage yield. And that 2-shot yield is just for comfort. If you wanted to play this build without that, your alternative could be Underdog. But now, let's get into the skills for the build here. We grab ourselves uppers and quick fix for the damage reduction, which is giving us 2-shot armor for the Iron Man as we have here for ICTB. As we mentioned earlier, if you grab shock and awe and resilience, now you're stacking up even more of an armory recovery. We do grab ourselves bullseye as well, just for another form of armor regen. We also bring underdog for the safety net in case we don't have a first aid kit triggered at that moment. We do have jack of all trades, and I bring a secondary ammo bag just in case we do run out in an aggressive style build. We have body expertise mixed with the surefire. As we've mentioned earlier, this is in here for the safety net as well, if you don't go for the headshots every single time. Next we have dire need. This is pretty handy in a 1.5 second armor regen situation. We have the Unseen Strike, which is pretty valuable in pretty much every build. And then lastly we go for the Akimbo skill, so we can make more ammo and stability out of our weapons. For the guns, we have the Kxng. Obviously you can use any of the 100 damage SMGs. You could also be using any of the 60 damage SMGs really. But this is how I've designed mine. This one's more accuracy and stability driven. I'm using the bigger the better suppressor. For a boost, I'm using the accuracy. For custom, I'm also going for single fire, so I have the accuracy increase. For the foregrip, I'm using the aluminum foregrip for stability. For gadget, I'm using the LED combo for stability. As for the grip, I'm using the rubber grip for stability. For the magazines, I go for the speed pool. For the secondary weapon here, I'm using the CR, but you can also use pretty much any of the secondary SMGs that deal about 100 damage, or you can go for the 60 damage like the Mark 10 or something. But the way I've built this also is accuracy and stability driven, so I go for the bigger the better. Can't miss the barrel, but we didn't actually go for any barrels here, just to mention. As for the boost, we go for an accuracy. We don't lock it to anything. We don't need, you know, extra stability or anything like that, so I just went for the normal laser. For the magazine, I go for the speed pull. You can go for literally anything though. This one is purely optional and situational, but I go for the red dot, or specular, I apologize. Now here's some tips for the build. Really obviously it's going to be target priority and positioning like almost every build. But Hitman is most important that you use cover when your armor is broken. Now let me break it down to you. If you have a 1.5 second armor regen, that doesn't matter what happens and you'll get your armor back after the 1.5 seconds. Let's assume that you get shot at by a 225 cop and you have 230 HP. So 2 of the bullets will hit you and then that's what will actually down you. But in the time period of a 1.5 second, you can actually get shot about 3 to 4 times from 225 damage. So with knowing this knowledge, it essentially allows you to have access essentially to, oh, that's when I'm supposed to, you know, I'm allowed to break my armor and then go, you know, jump into cover for a second, come right back out and just be as tanky as I was previously. Because breaking your armor will make it regen faster than having armor left over and possibly having suppression on your armor, or someone shoots at you and you still can't regen it. If you allow your armor to break in Hitman each time, you're always going to have lightning armor regen, which will bring you into the fight every time. If you have any knowledge of playing armor, you can do the exact same in this Hitman build, because you have the availability to move across the map just because of the armor regen, but you also bring first aid kits to the table, which can aid you in this situation from moving to point A to point B, or having to push to an objective or run to a teammate. These can all, you know, be handy in this situation. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I do appreciate you guys watching this series. If anybody is interested in this series, it is called my weekly build series, and it has been going on since for maybe a couple months now. Essentially what we're doing is going to just give you guys a new build to play every week. It can be anywhere from all 22 different perk decks. Essentially any build that I play, any build that I'm creating will essentially get onto this list at some point in the future. There's a whole playlist, and that playlist is right here. You go over to my YouTube here and you scroll down, it'll be the second playlist that pops up. You click onto it and you see here that you have 14 videos already to watch, meaning you have 14 different builds that you can already see and play for yourself.